Hello students, welcome to your channel Parivartan Physics. See, we are in the series of videos where we are learning NEET and KCET Physics. In NEET and KCET Physics series of videos, guys, second PUC is already on 5 chapters upload agidave, right? Amele first PUC is 1 chapter upload agidre. In this series of videos, you will learn the concepts of physics of PUC 1 as well as PUC 2, class 11 as well as class 12 to a very good depth, which will help you to solve, which will help you to crack the exams like NEET as well as KCET. So those who are preparing for NEET as well as KCET, for them, these videos are very, very helpful. Just go through the videos once, you will understand the concepts very clearly. In a very simplified way, the concepts have been explained, right? So you understand the concepts and many MCQs have been solved, many shortcuts have been told, many simplest ways of solving the MCQs have been told. So you can go through the videos one. Please check the playlists in the channel and you will get to know, right? By this video, we'll start with one more chapter called as motion in a straight line, one-dimensional motion or rectilinear motion. In this video, we'll learn the concepts as well as we'll solve some MCQs on distance, displacement, average speed as well as average velocity, right? Okay, let us begin the video then. See, first, distance and displacement. I will not sit telling the definitions, you already know. Distance means it is the path length, actual path length. Displacement means it is the straight line distance between initial and final position, or a shortest distance between initial and final position. We know that very well. Correct? Okay, shortest under straight line. Straight line itself is the shortest distance. The shortest. Okay, so here I have taken a straight line where the positions are named O, Q, P, R. The distance code meter. All these are in meters, right? Okay. So next, here I have taken some journeys. For these journeys, we'll write what is the distance and what is the displacement. Okay. First journey is from O to P. O in the P. Okay. The first journey is from O to P. O to P. So O to P now hodre, see it distance will be equal to O to P is 0 there. So distance means it will be 360 meters. Distance is 360 meters. What is the displacement? See, displacement antandre, displacement means it will be equal to final position minus initial position. What is final position? Final position is 360. What is initial position? Initial position is 0. So displacement is again 360 meter. Here, distance and displacement both are equal. In case distance and displacement are equal. Because it is a straight line motion. On the direction change. It is a straight line motion, that's why distance and displacement both are equal. So distance and displacement will be equal only for a straight line motion. Otherwise, distance will always be greater than displacement. It will never be less than displacement. Right? Okay. See, next P to Q. Okay. We are coming from P to Q now. So P to Q, how much will be the distance? Distance will be, see, 360, 140. So 140 ikade 400 plus akade 60 antadre 60 plus 40, this will be 100 meter, right? Distance, right? Okay, we are moving from 360 meter to 240, so it will be 360 minus 240, right? So 360 minus 240 antadre ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರಬೇಕು ಈ ಕಡೆ ನಮಗೆ 60, sorry, it will be 120, it will be 120 60 plus 60, so it will be 120 meter. This is distance. Okay, now displacement. Displacement means it will be equal to final position minus initial position. Correct? How much? What is final position? Final position is 240. What is initial position? That is 360. So it will be minus 120 now. Okay, minus 120 because displacement is a vector quantity. Since we are moving in the opposite direction. ಈ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನಾವು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಈ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನಾವು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಸೊ ಈ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನಮಗೆ ಅದರ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ರೀ, minus 120 meter. So distance is plus 120 and displacement is minus 120. In magnitude, both are again equal because it is a straight line motion, right? Okay, next O to P and back to Q. So from O we are starting, we are reaching P and we are coming back to Q, right? So this is the journey, O to P and P to Q. See, distance is actual path traveled. So O to P, it is 360, O to P, it is 360, and P to Q, it is 120. It is 120. So how much this will be? This will be 480 meter. This much is the distance traveled. Next, what about displacement? Displacement, I am starting from a very basic concept so that even class 11 students who are presently studying class 11, for them also it will be familiar. That's why. Okay, displacement. See, what is the initial position of the particle? O is the initial position. And what is the final position of the particle? Q is the final position. It has gone from O to P, but P nintilladu. It has not stopped at P. It has come back to Q and then it has stopped. So this is the final position. This final position is the initial position. So displacement will be final position minus initial position. Final position is 240. Final position is 240. Initial position is 0. Initial position is 0. So how much will be the displacement? Displacement will be 240 meter. So this much is the displacement. Is namagu displacement irtade. So displacement andre it is the straight line distance between initial and final position anta karadve now. So initial position is O, final position is Q. So how much is the distance? It is 240. 240 meter is the displacement of the journey O to P and back to Q. Right? Okay, that is all about how to know, how to calculate distance as well as displacement in a straight line motion. Now we'll see distance and displacement in case of circular motion. Right? Okay, here we have taken a circular path. This is X, X dash, Y dash. This is P, this is Q. Radius of the circle is R, center of the circle is O. And P ಮತ್ತು Q ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಏನದಾವ, ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಗಳು ಏನದ, ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಏನದಾವ ಅದ್ರ ನಡುವೆ ಆಂಗಲ್ ನಮಗೆ ಥೀಟಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಥೀಟಾ. Okay, so here also I have taken some journeys. We'll go on writing distance and displacement for these journeys. First one is from X to Y. See, X to Y enter from here to here. Right? We are traveling from X to Y. So if we are traveling from X to Y, how much will be the distance? See, if you travel a complete circle, one complete circle andre full circle or one full revolution, this will be equal to 2 pi r. Right? Circumference of the circle andre 2 pi r. Circumference of the circle means 2 pi r. So this much will be the path length of the circle. ಈ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಪಾತ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ನಮಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೀವಿ? ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಟು ವೈ. ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲಿಂಗ್ 1/4 ಆಫ್ ದ ಸರ್ಕಲ್. ಸರ್ಕಲ್ದು 1/4 ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ 2 pi r divided by 4. 1/4 of the circumference we are traveling, right? So that's why the distance traveled here will be pi r divided by 2. Pi r divided by 2. This much will be the distance. Okay, what about displacement? Okay, ಈ ಕೇಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಗ್ತದೆ? See, displacement means we said that it is the straight line distance. It is the straight line distance between initial and final position of the journey. Okay, what is the initial position of the journey? X is the initial position. What is the final position of the journey? Y is the final position. So this will be the displacement. This has to be the displacement. Correct? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೊಂದು triangle ಬಂತ್ರಿ. We got a triangle. Right? Okay, this is X and this is Y. We got a right angle triangle. This is radius and this will also be the radius only. This will also be the radius only. Correct? So we want this line XY length ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. That is the displacement actually. ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಇದೇನು ಕರ್ವ್ ಅದಲ್ಲ, X to Y we are having a curve also. X to Y we are having a straight line also. So X to Y curve ಏನದ, that is the distance. X to Y straight line ಏನದ, that is the displacement. So ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಪೈಥಾಗೋರಸ್ ಥಿಯರಮ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ this will be root of r square plus r square, that will be equal to root 2r. Root 2r. So displacement will be equal to root 2r. This much will be the displacement. For which journey? For the journey X to Y. Okay, next X to X dash. We are traveling from X to X dash. This is the initial position and this is the final position. We are traveling from X to X dash. Okay, when you are traveling from X to X dash, the distance will be equal to half of the circumference. Half circle now travel madidvi. Half revolution we have completed. So the distance will be circumference divided by 2. It will be equal to pi r. This much will be the distance. Displacement means it is the straight line distance from initial position to final position. So which is the initial position? X. Which is the final position? X dash. So this is the straight line. Under this is the displacement. If this is r, this will also be r. So r plus r, it will be equal to 2r. So displacement is 2r in this case. Displacement is 2r. From x dash to x dash. Andre we are traveling from x dash to x dash. Okay, let us take it as x to x. Instead of saying it as x dash to x dash, we'll take it as x to x. Okay, x to x. Andre namadu initial position and final position are same. Initial position is equal to final position. I will write it like this. Initial position is equal to final position. We are starting from x. And we are coming back to x. So initial position is also x only. Final position is also x only. So in this case, distance traveled will be equal to circumference 2 pi r. Distance traveled will be equal to circumference 2 pi r. What about displacement? Displacement will be equal to 0. Displacement will be 0 because initial position and final position both are same. ಎರಡು ಸೇಮ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಮಗೆ 0 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Okay, this is for the third journey. We'll go for the fourth journey now, that is PQ. Okay, here is P and here is Q. So we want to calculate the distance as well as displacement. Okay, ಇಲ್ಲಿ distance ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ PQ the distance ಅಂದ್ರೆ we have to calculate this arc length. ಈ arc the length ನಾವು calculate ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. This is distance. ಇದು ನಮಗೆ distance ರೀ. Displacement ಅಂದ್ರೆ we have to calculate this straight line, length of this straight line. This is displacement. ಇದು ನಮಗೆ displacement ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Correct? Okay, first let us write the distance now. Distance ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ see here in this case distance means it will be equal to arc length PQ. Arc length PQ. Arc length means what is that? Arc length andre endri? Arc length means it will be equal to radius into the angle subtended, right? So arc length, this arc PQ is subtending an angle theta at the center. The arc PQ is subtending an angle theta at the center, and how much is the radius? Radius is r. That's why distance will be equal to r theta. In this case, distance will be equal to r theta. Right? Okay, we got distance now. Next we want displacement. Okay, displacement ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ದ ಲೆಂತ್ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಈ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ದ ಲೆಂತ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಏನೇನದೆ? The side PO and OQ is there, that is r and r. Right? Okay, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ theta ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. See, theta is divided, it is bisected in two equal halves. ಎರಡು equal halves ಆಗಿ bisect ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇದು theta by 2 and this is theta by 2. So here we have a triangle now. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೊಂದು triangle ಇದೆ. And the triangle is like this. Here we have an angle called as theta by 2. This is r. We want this side. ಈ side ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕು. Right? This distance and this distance. ಇವೆರಡು add ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ displacement ಬರ್ತದೆ. Correct? So this is hypotenuse. R is hypotenuse. And what is the distance we want is called as ಈ side ಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? Opposite side. This is opposite. ಇದು adjacent ಅದ. ಇದು hypotenuse ಅದ. Correct? Okay. ನಂಗೆ ಈಗ opposite side ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ I have to apply sine for this trigonometric for this angle. ಈ angle ಗೆ ನಾ sine apply ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ. If I apply sine for that, sine theta by 2 is equal to opposite side divided by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is r. So what I will get? Opposite side means what I will get? I will get it as r sine theta by 2. R sine theta by 2. Right? So this side from P to this point, E point tanka. So this much is r sine theta by 2. This much is r sine theta by 2. If this is r sine theta by 2, then this will also be r sine theta by 2 only. Idu kuda namaga r sine theta by 2 na agbekri. Then what will be the displacement then? Okay, displacement in this case will be equal to r sine theta by 2 plus r sine theta by 2, which will be equal to 2r sine theta by 2. 2r sine theta by 2. This is how we have to calculate the distance as well as displacement in a straight line motion as well as circular motion. Correct? Okay, we'll see some objectives on this. Okay, so we have to remember some points here. Let me tell you some points which we have to remember regarding distance as well as displacement. The first thing is distance is never negative or zero. Distance yavagu negative irangilla, zero irangilla. It is always positive. It is always positive. Especially for a moving object. Yavade ಒಂದು object move ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೋರಿ, ಅದರದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ zero ಇರಂಗೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. If it didn't move, ಅದು move ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನೀವು zero ಅನ್ಬೋದು. But if a body has moved, then its distance can never be zero or it can never be negative. Distance is never negative or zero and never decreases for a moving body. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಬಾಡಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ರಿ. ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗೂ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗೋತ ಹೋಗ್ತದ್ರಿ. ನೀವು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಈ ಕೇಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ here you can know, you will get to know a body has moved from O to P and P to Q, but distance ನಮಗೆ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ನಾವು 480 ಮೀಟರ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ 360, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ 120. ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗೋತ ಹೋಗ್ತದ್ರಿ. ನೀವು ಓದಿಂದ ವಾಪಸ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಂದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ zero ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. Here if you move from O to P and from P to O, distance is not zero. Distance ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು? ಫಸ್ಟ್ 360 plus 360 720 meters ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತ್ರಿ. ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ zero ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ zero ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ನೆವರ್ ಬಿ zero ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನೆವರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್. ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗೂ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ನಾವು ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ದಾಗ ಬಂದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, 480 meters ಅದು. ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನೆವರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಸ್. Distance never decreases for a moving body. Okay, we'll see the next point then. See, next point is distance is always greater than or equal to displacement. Distance yavagu displacement ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ displacement equal ಇರ್ತದ್ರಿ, but it is never less than displacement. Displacement ಗಿಂತ ಯಾವಾಗೂ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ರಿ, it is never less than displacement. Distance is always greater than or equal to displacement. Okay, only for straight line motion, distance is equal to displacement. Distance ಮತ್ತು displacement equal ಯಾವಾಗ ಇರ್ತಾವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ straight line motion ಮಾತ್ರ equal ಇರ್ತಾವ್ರಿ. Distance can never be less than displacement. It is never less than displacement. Equal ಇರಬಹುದು, ಅದು straight line motion ಮಾತ್ರ equal ಇರ್ತದೆ. Straight line motion ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ distance is always greater than displacement, right? So these are the points which you have to remember regarding distance as well as displacement. Okay, next we'll go for some objectives on this concept. See, this is a KCET question. KCET question is the previous year question. See, a cyclist starts from the center O ದಿಂದ start ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ of a circular park of radius 1 kilometer. Okay, ಇದರ radius ನಮಗೆ 1 kilometer ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Okay, the radius is 1 kilometer. Okay, so radius is 1 kilometer. It means this is 1 kilometer. ಇದು ನಮಗೆ 1 kilometer ಅದ. If this is 1 kilometer, then this will also be 1 kilometer only. ಇದು ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ 1 kilometer ಇರ್ತದೆ. Right? Okay, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? Then cycles along the circumference and returns to the center along QO. ಅಂದ್ರೆ his path is like this. O ದಿಂದ start ಮಾಡಿ P ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. P ದಿಂದ he will come to Q. Q ದಿಂದ again he will come back to O. So this is his journey. This is his journey. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜರ್ನಿ ಅವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ? Right? Okay, if the round trip takes 10 minutes, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಜರ್ನಿ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ತಗೊಂಡಿದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನು 10 minutes time he has taken. The net displacement and the average speed of the cyclist is. Net displacement and average speed he is asking. See, displacement ಅಂದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕಾ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ನಿಮ್ ತಲೆಯೊಳಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಸೇಮ್. ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫೈನಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಎರಡೂ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಮಗೆ 0. ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಅವ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಹಿ ಹಾಸ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಮೊದಲು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 0 ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ 0 ಇರುವಂತವು ಎರಡು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವೆ, ಒಂದು 0.1, 0.2, 21.4. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಬೋತ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತೂ 0 ಅದ, ಇವು ಎರಡು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 0 ಅದ. ನಾವು ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ವಾಟ್, ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೇನು ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು? ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್. ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಫಾರ್ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್? ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? See, average speed means it is equal to total distance traveled upon total time taken. Total distance traveled upon total time taken. That is average speed. Total time taken. So average total distance ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಗ್ತದ್ರಿ? Total distance. See, ಇದು 1 kilometer, ಇದು 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಇನ್ನು ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾವುದು? The arc. This arc we have to calculate. Right? So arc ನಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಗ್ತದ್ರಿ? ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವೀಗ total distance calculate ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. Let us calculate total distance first and then we'll go for the speed. Total distance ನೋಡ್ರಿ, O to P 1 kilometer, ಆಮೇಲೆ P to Q, ಆಮೇಲೆ Q to O 1 kilometer. So I will write it like this: 1 kilometer plus P to Q plus 1 kilometer. Right? Okay, in PQ ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಗಬೇಕು? 1 plus 1, this will be 2, this will be 2. PQ means it is 1/4 of the circumference. PQ means it is 1/4 of the circle, 1/4 of the circumference. So circumference ಇತರದ್ದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಗ್ತದ್ರಿ? Circumference will be 2 pi r. R, how much is the radius? Radius is 1 kilometer. So 2 pi into 1. 2 pi into 1, that will be 2 pi only. 2 pi into 1, that will be 2 pi only. Divided by 4. Correct? Divided by 4. So ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಬರಿಬಹುದು? I can write it as 2 plus pi by 2. 2 plus pi by 2 ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬಹುದು. Correct? Or I can simply write it as 4 plus pi divided by 2. 4 plus pi divided by 2. This much is the total distance. Total distance ನಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಅದ 4 plus pi by 2. So here in place of total distance I will write it as 4 plus pi divided by 2. This is the total distance. Total time ಎಷ್ಟು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರಿ? ಆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಜರ್ನಿ ಮುಗಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ತಗೊಂಡಿದೆ? 10 minutes he has taken. So this is 10 minutes. This is 10 minutes. So you got 4 plus pi divided by 10 into 2 will be 20. So this much you got kilometer per minute. ಎಷ್ಟು ನಿಮಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬಂತು. ಬಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದಾರೆ? ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಅವರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದಾರೆ. ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಬೇಕು, ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಅವರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಪರ್ ಅವರ್, ಪರ್ ಮಿನಿಟ್ ಇದ್ದು ಪರ್ ಅವರ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಇಟ್ ಬೈ 60. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಇಟ್ ಬೈ 60. ಪರ್ ಮಿನಿಟ್ ಇದ್ದು ಪರ್ ಅವರ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಅವರ್. ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಅವರ್. ಸೊ 21s are 23s are. This will be the, this much will this will get cancelled. Okay, next. So now this will be 3 into 4 will be 12, 4 into 3 will be 12, pi into 3. So pi means 3.142 into 3. we'll take it as 3.142 into 3 means 9 point something we will get. Okay, we can write it like this then, 3.142. So 2 means 6, 4 means 12, 1 means 3 plus 1 4, and this will be 9.426. 9.426. 9.426 plus 12, this will be 21.426. 21.426 kilometer per hour, right? So this much will be the average speed. Average speed namaga ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂತು? This is the average speed, correct? So average speed 21.4 is here. So the right option is option D. Correct option is option D. Okay, let us go to the next question then. So the next question is, this is also from KCET only. KCET 2024. Last year KCET ಒಳಗೆ appear ಆಗಿದ್ದದರೆ. See, an athlete runs along a circular track of diameter 80 meter. Diameter 80 meter da hangada radius ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು? 40 meter, right? The distance traveled and the magnitude of displacement of the athlete when he covers 3/4 of the circle is, okay, 3/4 of the circle he has covered. 3/4 of the circle. Radius namaga 40 meters adare. Radius is 40 meters. And how much he has covered? 3/4 of the circle he has covered. They are asking what they are asking, the distance traveled and the magnitude of displacement. Okay, displacement mattu distance namaga kelatarre. Okay, distance and displacement and magnitude he is asking. 3/4 of the circle means he has traveled from x to y dash. Illinda illivargu travel madidare, right? So he is asking us distance traveled and the displacement. Okay, first distance traveled. Distance traveled is 3/4 of the circumference, 2 pi r, correct? So I can write it as 2 1s are 2 2s are cancel aithe namaga. It is 3 pi into r divided by 2. So what is r? How much is r? R is 40 meters. So 40 into 3 will be 120. 120 pi divided by 2, which will be equal to 60 pi. 60 pi. This much will be the distance. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ 60 pi the one option ಇದೆ. So you can directly click the other option now. 60 pi. Displacement you calculate ಮಾಡೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, but let us calculate the displacement also. Let us calculate the displacement also. See, displacement ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, see, initial position is x, final position is y dash. So this is the displacement, right? ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ರೀ, ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. Then how much will be the displacement? It will be root 2r. ಇಷ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. So displacement is equal to, it is root 2 into r. How much is r? R is 40. So it will be 40 root 2 meter. This much will be the displacement, 40 root 2. Correct? Okay, that's all about distance as well as displacement. Next, we'll go for average speed. Average speed. We know very well, average speed means, average speed is equal to total distance traveled. Total distance traveled divided by total time taken. Total time taken. Let me say we have traveled two distances, S1 and S2. So total distance will be S1 plus S2. Time taken to travel S1 is T1 and time taken to travel S2 is T2. So it will be T1 plus T2. Okay, total distance traveled upon total time taken. ಈಗ ಇದೇ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ, if I don't know ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್, ನನಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೋರಿ, ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಟೈಮ್ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತದ. ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಜರ್ನಿ ಅದ. ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಂಗೆ S1 ಅದ ರೀ, ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದು T1. ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದ, ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದ ಟೈಮ್ T2, ರೈಟ್? ಅಂಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್, ಈ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವಲ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ನಂಗೆ V1 ಅದ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ V2 ಅದ. ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನಾಟ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್, ಟೈಮ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನಾಟ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನಾಟ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅದಾವ. ಈಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ನನಗೆ V1 T1 V2 T2 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ, S1 S2 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ತರ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್: V1 into T1 plus V2 into T2 divided by T1 plus T2. Like this we have to write. Andre V1 and V and T are known. So I am expressing the displacement S in terms of V and T. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಗೊತ್ತದ್ರಿ, V is equal to S by T ಅಂತ. So S I am expressing in terms of V and T. Known term ಒಳಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೀವಿ, ಅನ್ನೋನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಕಿಂತ ನೋನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, if I was not knowing S1 and S2, if I was knowing only V and T, then I used to write the average speed like this. Okay, now I am not knowing time. Nange T1 T2 ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, V1 S1 I know, V2 S2 I know. So what I will get? The formula will be S1 plus S2 divided by, in place of time what I have to write, S by V. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಬರಿಬೇಕು S1 by V1 plus ಇದನ್ನ ಬರಿಬೇಕು S2 by V2. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ನಾವು ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. known terms ಒಳಗೆ ನಾವು ಬರತ್ತೀವಿ. We are writing average speed in terms of known terms. by replacing unknown term, right? In itrolage namaga ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು cases ಬರ್ತವೆ. So two special cases we will get. In that, first one is different speed. If a body is traveling with different speeds, equal distances. If a body has covered equal distances with different speeds, equal distances, right? Okay, so it is like this. The distances are equal, distances covered are equal, yes and yes. Speeds are different, v1 and v2. We don't know about the time. So ಈ ಕೇಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 2 v1 into v2 divided by v1 plus v2. So this is the shortcut which we have to use. But what should be equal? Distance must be equal. Distance equal idre ನಾವು ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay, here we are having two distances. Suppose three speeds ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಎರಡು ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ್ರಿ, v1 and v2. ಸಪೋಸ್ ನಮಗೆ 3 ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ಸ್ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ನಮಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 3v1 into v2 into v3 divided by v1 into v2 plus v2 into v3 plus v3 into v1. So this will be the average speed formula when the distances are equal. When two distances are equal, when three distances are equal, right? The first case. Second case, different speeds in equal time intervals. A body has traveled with different speeds in equal time intervals. Okay, equal time intervals. Okay, if the speeds are different and distance is equal, use this formula. If the speeds are different and time interval is same, you know, for example, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ v1 ಅದ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ v2 ಅದ, ಟೈಮ್ ನಮಗೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಅದ ರೀ, ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಟೈಮ್ ನಮಗೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಅದ. Okay, so in this case, average speed will be equal to v1 plus v2 divided by 2 if two different speeds are there. If three different speeds are there, then it will be v1 plus v2 plus v3 divided by 3. So this much will be the average speed. Correct? Next, this is all about average speed. So nodri, in case if these both cases are not there, ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಈ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ you have to go back to the basic formula only. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ಕಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವಾಗ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಸ್. ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಏನದ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ದೆನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಎವರೇಜ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ. ಸಿ ಎವರೇಜ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ you can write it as total displacement upon total time, or you can write it as total displacement upon total time. ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಒಳಗೆ ನಾನು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಂಟೇನಿಯಸ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಂಟೇನಿಯಸ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಐ ನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ. ಹಿಯರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ average values, right? Okay, I can write it as final position minus initial position divided by change in time, ಅಥವಾ time taken to cover that distance. Okay, this is average velocity. Final position minus initial position divided by delta t, right? So that is all about average velocity. Next, we'll see some important points to remember regarding average speed as well as average velocity. Nodri, distance ಮತ್ತು displacement ಗೆ ಏನು ನಮಗೆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದ್ದು, ಏನು ನಮಗೆ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದು, ಅದೇ ಸೇಮ್ ನಮಗೆ average speed ಮತ್ತು average velocity ಬರ್ತದೆ. Why? Distance is also a scalar quantity, displacement is a vector quantity. Average speed is also a scalar quantity, average velocity is a vector quantity, right? So distance, displacement, average speed, average velocity, ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಸೇಮ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬರ್ತವೆ. See, first one is average speed is always greater than or equal to average velocity. Average speed average velocity ಗಿಂತನೂ ಯಾವಾಗೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿನೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಇರ್ತದ್ರಿ? ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಪಾತ್ ಮಾತ್ರ average speed ಮತ್ತು average velocity ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೆ average speed ಯಾವಾಗೂ average velocity ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, right? This is the first point you have to remember. Second point is average velocity can be positive, negative or zero, but average speed is never negative or it is never equal to zero, right? Average velocity ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್, ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆರ್ ಜೀರೋ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಬಟ್ average speed ಯಾವಾಗೂ ಜೀರೋ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಫಾರ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವಾಗೂ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, right? This is all about the points you have to remember regarding average speed and average velocity. Now we'll see some objectives on this concept. See, this is the previous year NEET question, NEET 2023. So what they're asking, a vehicle travels half the distance with the speed v and the remaining distance with speed 2v. ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, a vehicle travels half the distance ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಿಂದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ it has traveled with speed v and remaining half distance it has traveled with speed 2v. The average speed is, so it is the case of equal distance ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಿದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ವಿ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ದಿಂದ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ 2v. So this is the case of equal distances, different speeds and equal distances. So I have to use the formula to calculate average speed. So average speed the formula ನಮಗೆ ಏನದರಿ for this case average speed is 2v1 into v2 divided by v1 plus v2. Okay, so this will be 2v1, v1 is v, v2 is 2v, right? 2v divided by v plus 2v, this will be 3v. So 4v square divided by 3v, so it will be equal to 4v divided by 3. Istu namaga average speed iruttadri, 4v divided by 3, right? So this is 4v divided by 3. Hangadre option correct aidri, option A, right? This is the question from NEET 2023. Okay, next we'll go for next question. This is from JMN 2011. A particle covers half of its total distance with a speed v1, half of the distance with speed v1, and rest half of the distance with speed v2. Its average speed, okay, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅದೇ ಕೇಸ್ ಇದೆ, equal distance different speeds. So the formula is 2v1 into v2 by v1 plus v2. Standard formula ಮೇಗ question ಇದೆ. So here is the standard formula, 2v1 into v2 by v1 plus v2. Correct? Okay, next we'll go for the next question now. This is from KCET 2007. See, a car moves from x to y with a uniform speed vu and returns to x with uniform speed vd. The average speed of this for this trip is, nodri, a car moves from x to y andare idu namaga x ade, idu namaga y ade, this is x, this is y. X ದಿಂದ y ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ it has traveled with a speed vu, ಆಮೇಲೆ y ದಿಂದ x ಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ it has traveled with a speed vd. So distance traveled is same adanangri. First journey distance traveled is xy, second journey the distance traveled is xy. Correct? Speeds are different, distance is same distance, different speed, same case it is. So in this case average speed they are asking. Okay, average speed. So average speed the formula ನಮಗೆ ಏನದ, 2v1 into v2 by v1 plus v2. So it is 2vu into vd divided by vu plus vd, so which option will be correct? Option D will be correct. Okay, we'll go to the next question then. So the next question is from KCET 2006. See, a car runs at a constant speed on a circular track of radius 100 meter. Circular track ada radius 100 meter, taking 62.8 seconds for every circle. So one circle complete agಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ತಗೊಳ್ತದ್ರಿ? 62.8. So to complete one circle complete ಆದ್ರೆ ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಗೆ ನಾವು ಟೈಮ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So it is taking 62.8 seconds. The average velocity and average speed for each circular lap will be, ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಪ್ರತಿ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಮುಗಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಅದರ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟು, ಎವರೇಜ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಎಷ್ಟು. ಸಿ, ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಮುಗಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ it has to start from this point and it has to come to this point. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತ್ರಿ? If initial position and final position are same, displacement is 0. If displacement is 0, then obviously average velocity will be 0. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಮಗೆ 0 ಆಯ್ತು. So average velocity and average speed ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. First average velocity and then average speed. Average velocity 0 ಇರುವಂತ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಎರಡು ಅದಾವ್ರಿ, B and C. So ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ A and ಆಪ್ಷನ್ D will get eliminated. ಇವೆರಡು ನಮಗೆ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆದ್ರಿ. B ಮತ್ತು C ನಮಗೆ ಉಳಿತಾವ. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ. ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್, ಎವರೇಜ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ನಮಗೆ 0, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 0 ಇರಬಹುದು, ಆದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ನೆವರ್ ಬಿ 0 ಅಂತಂದೇವ್ ನಾವು ಫಾರ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ಅಂಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಇಸ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ನೆವರ್ ಬಿ 0. ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ 0 ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ 0 ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಎವರೇಜ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿನೂ 0 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ 0 ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಿ? ರೈಟ್. ನೀವು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ನಮಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಗ್ತದೆ? It will be 2 pi r. How much is r? R is 100. So it is 2 into 3.14 into 100. Right? So ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಗ್ತದ್ರಿ? 2 into 314 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. 2 into 314. So 314 into 2 ನಮಗಿದು ಇಲ್ಲ, in terms of average speed. Okay, let me take it as it is 2 4 is 8 1 and this is 618 meter. ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ತರ ಬರಿಬಹುದು, 200 pi ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನೀವು ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. You can write it as 200 pi also, right? So ಇದು pi as it is ನಾವು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ 200 pi ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬರಿಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತ್ರಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಟು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ 1 revolution 62.8 ಅದ, 62.8. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. Sorry, this will be 6 to 8, right? 6 to 8 meter. Next nodri, in namaga average velocity beka, we want average velocity, sorry, average speed. Average velocity antu 0 agide, average speed we want. So average speed will be equal to total distance traveled 628 divided by time taken to complete one circle, that is 62.8. 62 point. So this will be equal to 10, right? 10 meter per second. Option C is correct. We'll go to the next question then. So the next question is, a car moves from A to B with a speed of 30 km per hour and from B to A with a speed of 20 km per hour. What is the average speed? A to B, B to A. And the distance is same, speeds are different. So we have to use again the same formula, average speed. Average speed is equal to, average speed the formula now use madbekri, right? So average speed is equal to 2v1 into v2. Which case is this? It is the case of equal distance with different speeds, right? 2v1 into v2 divided by v1 plus v2. So it will be 2 into v1. v1 is to the, v1 is 30 and v2 is 20 divided by 30 plus 20, it is 50. This is 50. Okay, so what I will get? I will get 2 into 600, 2 into 600 divided by 50. 0, 0 will get cancelled. So this is 5 ones are 5, 12 are 60. 12 into 2 will be 24, right? So 24 kilometer per hour, right? So option D will be correct. Okay, we'll go to the next question then. So this is from KCET 2009. Okay, a body of mass m moving along a straight line covers half the distance with a speed of 2 meter per second. Half the distance with 2 meter per second. The remaining half of the distance is covered in 2 equal halves. Ulkid half ದಾಗ ಮತ್ತೆ 2 equal time intervals ಅದಾವ್ರಿ. 2 equal time intervals with a speed of 3 meter per second and 5 meter per second respectively. The average speed of the particle for the entire journey. Okay, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಅದ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಅದ. See, if this is the total distance, ಇದು first half distance ರೀ. This is first half distance, this is the next half distance. First half distance, it is traveling with a speed of 2 meter per second. So here it is traveling with a speed of 2 meter per second. The remaining half distance ಏನದಲ್ಲ, it is covered in 2 equal time intervals. ಅಂದ್ರೆ this distance is covered in 2 equal time intervals, t and t. But speeds are different. ಈ first half, ಈ x/2 ಒಳಗೆ ನಮಗೆ t time ಏನು ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತಲ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, let me take it as v1 only. Let me take it as v1 only. So here the speed is how much? 3 meter per second, and here the speed is 5 meter per second. So first ನೀವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಕೇಸ್ ಅದಾವ್ರಿ. Equal distance, different speeds, equal time interval, different speeds. ಎರಡು ಕಂಬೈನ್ಡ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಅದಾವ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾ ಮೊದಲು ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು v3 ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋಣ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ as v3. ಈ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್, ಇದರದ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ನಾವು v3 ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋಣ. So this will be, if time interval is equal, the formula will be v1 plus v2 by 2. So 3 plus 5, it is 8 by 2. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂತೆ? 4 meter per second. So here for the second half, the distance is 4 meter, sorry, the speed is 4 meter per second. Now, ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, equal time interval, different speeds formula use ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. Now, equal distance, different speeds formula use ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. So average speed will be equal to 2v1 into v3 divided by v1 plus v3. Okay, 2v1 into v3 means 2 into 2 into 4 divided by 2 plus 4, that is 6, right? So 2 ones are 2 threes are, 2 into 4 will be 8 by 3 meter per second. This much has to be the average speed. So average speed is 8 by 3 meter per second. Another option correct aita, option B is correct, right? Let us go to the next question then. So this is the last question of this session. Okay, a body is moving along a straight line with initial velocity v0. Initial velocity is v0. Its acceleration a is constant. After t seconds, its velocity becomes v. The average velocity of the body over the given time interval is. Average velocity ನಮಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, a body is moving along a straight line with initial velocity v0. Initial velocity v0. Initial velocity v0. First ನಮಗೆ initial velocity v0 ಅದ. Its acceleration is a. Is constant, acceleration constant ಅದ. After time t seconds, the velocity becomes v. ಇದು final velocity, ಇದು initial velocity, ಇದು ನಮಗೆ acceleration ಅದ ರೀ. The average velocity of the body over the given time interval ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನಾವು. See, ನಮಗೆ initial velocity ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Initial velocity is v0, final velocity is v. ಇದರದ acceleration ನಮಗೆ a ಅದ ರೀ. Acceleration a, time t ಅದ. What they are asking to calculate? They are asking us to calculate average velocity. See, average velocity antandre, we know this very well. It is total displacement. It is total displacement upon time. Total displacement divided by total time taken. Total displacement upon total time taken. Right? So, the total displacement matte total time. Total time antu namagu T ada. Total time antu T ada. ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕ್ರಿ? Total displacement ಬೇಕಾ? We want total displacement. So, ನಮಗೆ initial velocity ಗೊತ್ತದೆ, final velocity ಗೊತ್ತದೆ, acceleration ಗೊತ್ತದೆ, ನಮಗೆ displacement ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. We want displacement. So, we can use this formula. Kinematic equation v square minus u square is equal to 2as. ಈ formula na use ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. V, final velocity is v only, I will keep it as v. Initial velocity is v naught, so v square minus v naught square is equal to 2as. Correct? So, s is equal to ನಂಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದ್ರಿ? v square minus v naught square divided by 2a ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Divided by 2a. Substitute this total displacement here. It is v square minus v naught square divided by 2a. Divided by 2a. How much is the total time? Total time is t. So, this much will be the average velocity. So, v square minus v naught square divided by 2at. So, it is option D. Option D is correct. Right? So, that's all about average speed, average velocity, distance and displacement. So, we'll continue this chapter in the further upcoming videos. So, the next video will be on instantaneous velocity, instantaneous speed as well as acceleration and average acceleration. That will cover in the next video. And after that, we'll go for kinematic equations as well as graphs and relative velocity, so and so. Right? Okay. So, dear students, if you like the content of this channel, please don't forget to subscribe the channel and share the channel with your friends. Right? If you need anything else, please put a comment. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. Please keep watching and supporting the channel. Thank you.